Hey guys, Tomboy61, and today we have a little match in the gearing. Now, I was taking out the gearing initially just to try out the new buffs, but this match ended up being a very good example of looking at the map, understanding what's going on, and being the change that needs to be done, and understanding when it was my time to kind of not do what I thought was initially going to be my role. Because, right, in the beginning of this match, we're in center. I don't usually like to play center on this match. There's 4 destroyers on each side, 2 on each wing, which usually tells me, okay, destroyers are going to go on the wings, are going to go to A and D respectively. We'll play B just to kind of hold off the center line, prevent that from being capped, and then we can go from there. But as we see in this opening bit, the 2 destroyers that spawn center, me and my teammate, both go to B. But then our friend over who was on the left-hand side over at A decides that B looks really good for him. And this is something that actually mirrored on both teams, and we'll go ahead and see that as teams get to going. But just keep that in mind. Keep an eye on the mini map. Now, if you weren't familiar with the goings-ons of the last patch, gearing did receive a buff. We'll go ahead and go over that right now. First off, its guns got a little bit of a buff. Increased the shell velocity of both AP and HE by 5%. Then the AP shells now have a max damage of 2,300. The HE shells went up to 2,000. So they both received about an uplift of 200 points of damage, which is nice. Like, it definitely helps compete against some of the other boats at the tier. I don't know if gearing fully needed it, but that's where we are now. As far as my build goes, we are running Albert Gleaves with Bay and Space Fishy, interestingly, as the inspiration. Trying out Space Fishy just because the torpedo velocity, especially on these very long-range gearing torps, needs a bit of love, and that's the way I've decided to remedy it just a little. It does help just a tad. But we can see we've been spotted. If we looked at the enemy team comp, they have 2 lightnings on their side, which means they are going to have a good amount of sonar. And we can also see that, well, no one has decided to go to A. Neither team has decided that A is the way to go. Instead, both teams have decided to congregate down at B. So we are going to do, we're going to seize the initiative, seize the moment, and head over to A, because we could sit in a sonar stalemate down in B, but that isn't going to really help us. And fun fact, right around now is where my chair broke while playing this game. Yeah, my chair decided to break while playing this game. So look forward to maybe a chair review. I decided to order one of those Secret Labs ones, and we'll see if all of the hype is really worth it on those. But anyways, back to the video. We are steaming towards A. We know there is a huge number of ships down in B. We can just kind of fire off and wait. We want to hold the torpedoes for a little bit just so we have the best angle to cover that other side of B, right? We know they're going to be out on that northern part of B, so the best angle to saturate that whole area with torps is exactly what we want to do. So we're just holding until we have a really good angle. We go ahead and fire, because we assume they're all going to be kind of in that area that's closest to the island, because that provides them the best cover against our ships that are also kind of congregated at B. While we do that, we slip on into A, and we can see 3 of the ships get spotted, and we have beautiful firing arcs, because guess what? We're an American destroyer, lightweight guns that can fire over islands. We're going to use this little nook right here to start engaging the enemy. We can see a plethora of torpedoes heading towards the enemies as we speak. We're able to get a couple of hits out on this lightning while he's spotted. We get 1 hit, take 1 lightning down. Hipper looking not good. Double strike right there for 2 kills. Beautiful right there. The plan worked flawlessly, and it looks like they have more enemies coming on in to that area, kind of just filling in the gaps. We'll absolutely take it. At this point, we have captured A, and we're just kind of seeing if we can go ahead and find a little gap in here, start engaging these battleships, start peppering them with HE and AP, just trying to do a little bit of damage, just kind of annoy them. We know that, you know, these are essentially free shots. We're not even having to use the long smoke in order to engage them. We are going to be very protected right on over here. Of course, at this point, our friendly destroyer had kind of came over here to A with us. He's a Shima, and he is seeing all of those battleships way wide out there. And for him, it's a beautiful field day, and we will attempt to do our best to support this teammate. Yamato puts out that fire. Those torps looking beautiful, like they are going to sink Yamato from our teammate. And we'll just go ahead and get what damage we can in while we wait. But if we look down at the minimap, we can see the enemy, an enemy destroyer has popped up. 2 enemy destroyers now have popped up. We see them over here, and we're like, oh, hello, Mr. Lightning. You're not very, very frightening. We're going to go ahead and flip on over because the Shima, let's be clear, the Shima will do an excellent job at destroying those battleships. There's nothing for him to really worry about. These destroyers have popped up, so we might as well use our abilities to take them down. Enemy Shima also pops up. We can thankfully see some torpedoes are coming in. We're going to need to keep an eye on that just to make sure they don't have long enough range. Shimakaze goes down. Lightning still kind of floating out there. I'm surprised he's still spotted within the smoke. He must either be radared or within sonar. Oh, our friendly Lightning has him lit with the sonar. We can see torpedoes coming in on the friendly Lightning, and that other Lightning is kind of in the panic mode, right? He just hit the other island. He is trying to get out of there before he gets blown up. Sadly, he slips away in the smoke because, well, our Lightning went down to some torpedoes from a Z-23. We are spotted once again because we are being spotted through the teeth of that little cave system right there. Sadly, there's no firing angle. We don't need to really worry about this right here just because, well, yes, they can see us, and that's unfortunate, but they can't really hit us. It's a very difficult shot. Anyway, Z-23 is popping up. We're going to use the little bit of help that we can give to try and knock out Z-23. Sadly, we don't take him down. Yamato still hurting in the back, and there's an enemy battleship that is spotting us currently, but we need to kind of get out of here because the Grosser, we are within his sonar range, and he's going to be ready for us as we see shells fall just short as we leave his sonar range and we flee to B. See if we can get over here before that Lightning that we saw earlier goes ahead and captures Massachusetts, turning the corner out there. We're going to hold. We do have very long-range torps. It's going to take a minute to get out there, but we want to get those torps in the water. Sadly, enemy team does end up capturing B. And as far as A goes, we see that the Grosser could be coming through that gap. We'll go ahead and lay torps there, and we're going to just kind of try to find the Lightning. We do have to be very careful because, of course, Lightning does have that wonderfully powerful smoke sonar combo that can absolutely be devastating. And sadly, as we fired at that Lightning, we kind of stay spotted and we take a massive hit from the Yamato. He was definitely keeping an eye on it. I was not expecting him to be kind of watching that center line, but that does make sense. Massachusetts takes a shot at us and takes several torpedoes. Sadly, they're not our torpedoes, but he is at a very low health, so we are going to start engage, pop our smoke, see what we can do here. Of course, Massachusetts, thin armor up in that superstructure, exactly what we want to go ahead and target. Use the HE. If we can set a fire, even better. But shots out, we set a fire, and he's down, giving us 4 kills. And we still have a contested cap, which means we know the Lightning is abound. And at 4 kills, we are that close to Kraken. Now, Gearing, of course, is a gunboat, and we are seeing her perform very excellently. I am about to get the wonderful legendary tier Soviet cruiser Kazbarovsk. I know she is considered to be the king of the gunboats for legendary tier, but I do have a soft spot for Gearing. This buff does definitely help. We can see Lightning pops up right there. We take a little bit of health off him. We're both kind of dueling. Thankfully, we saw it right there. We knocked out one of his torpedo launchers, and without that, I think we would have been sunk. But we see 1 barrel of torpedoes coming towards us. He lines up the smoke, and thankfully, that 5th kill gives us the Kraken. Now it's time to sit and relax. Well, it's more time to start panting because Yamato knows we're on low health and fancies his chances up against us. We're just waiting to see when he starts to contest it. Once he contests it, we're like, okay, this is going to be a bit unfortunate. Of course, as far as teams go, we did just take out their last ship. It is now us 3 destroyers versus the 2 battleships. So as far as feeling good about the outcome of this game, I have a pretty good feeling, but at this point, we need to play this smart because, as we saw earlier, Yamato will happily fire at destroyers, and he took out half of our health last time. We cannot survive another salvo like this. So for us, it is now, how do we want to engage this? Is that Yamato going to sail straight around and out towards D, or is he going to come kind of chasing us down in this corner? And we need to kind of make that decision and figure out how we think he is going to engage us. Of course, that will help inform us as to how we want to lay these torpedoes. We can see, thankfully, he gets spotted once again, and we're getting a better aim indicator as far as what he's looking like turning wise. It's not looking like he's going to turn in, but by now is about when those first sets of torpedoes should have gone. That aim indicator should be about there. We see he definitely is not going to be making the turn towards us, so we lead him a little bit more as much as we can without hitting the island. He continues to turn out here, which is good for us because we know those torpedoes are going to look beautiful taking him down. We get 2 hits right here, and we decide just to put a little bit of extra effort, just fire 1 salvo, hopefully get a fire. Sadly, he gets that last bit of those last turrets out on us, and gets us down to 396 damage, but we get the kill, giving us the 6-pack. Of course, we haven't done a ton of damage, but we've done a good amount of damage to the enemy DDs, and I think that's why our damage is so low. But that is 6 kills, and we now just kind of need to wait on our fellow DD out in open water being chased down by the enemy who just got a high cal, because, well, it's about all we can do. We can see he takes down that Iowa. That's the game. 2,900 XP, just short of the 3K base XP. A really solid game in the gearing and a fun one exploring this little buff. Guys, if you liked the video, go ahead and hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. See ya.